high blood pressure. I had gained, and I went from, because they made me lose 20 pounds before I could do all this stuff. So I had gone from 200 to 180. I remember that. And I ballooned to 295 in my pregnancy.
Guess what, guys?
We're not doctors.
No, we are not.
If you're going to be making any major medical decisions, please consult your doctor.
Yes, and that includes diets, exercise, medications, and surgery.
We love you guys.
And we want you to be in our OSLP family forever.
So be careful
and consult
your doctors.
Welcome back, OSLP family. Welcome back, OSLP family.
Welcome.
You are listening to our Sleeve Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Maha.
And who are we talking to today, Mel?
I know. We have another set of besties with us. We are so excited about this. And they actually go by Bari-Bestiez. So we are going to be welcoming on to the show, the #1 bariatric show, Nina and Pam from Bari-Bestiez.
Welcome on the show, ladies.
Guys.
Hi, guys. So
How
nice
are you
to be
guys
here.
I'm glad you guys are here. This is going to be fun.
Yes.
Because we know about you, but we don't know all the things about you.
Yes. So we want to dive deep.
Yes, we do.
And figure out who you are and all about your journeys.
And we definitely want Nina say hi and Pam say hi, so that way they can get the voices to the names.
Sure. I'm Nina. Hi.
I'm Pam. Hello.
All right, ladies. So who had surgery first?
Yes.
I did. Pam.
Okay. So Pam, can you tell us where the weight issues started for you? Was it in your childhood? Was it later on in life? And then why you decided to have surgery?
Okay. My weight actually did not start until after I had my first pregnancy. I was actually 26 years old when I got pregnant with my first child. So I was always that thin friend, that athletic friend, and then graduated high school, stopped doing anything but working, and the weight just a little bit here and there.
She was a ballerina, by the way.
Yeah, just a ballet dancer and a majorette.
So
that's awesome.
Yes.
That is cool.
And then after I had my first child, I had a C-section. And then from that point on, it was just like 5 pounds here, 10 pounds. It just started creeping up. And in 2020, I had a stroke from a car accident. And I began gaining weight just through the depression and, lack of movement. I was having a really difficult time. And my neurologist talked to me about it. And he said, have you ever thought about weight loss surgery? And, like most, I was like, no way, I can do it. I'm not taking the easy way out. I'm not doing that. I can do it. And he said, well, you haven't done it so far and you're in your 50s. So what are we going to do? So I talked to Dr. Homey at Mary Washington Hospital. I went for the appointment, and just his demeanor and his bedside manner just changed things for me. And that's how it started. And on March 23rd, 2022, I had surgery.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Wow.
I have a couple questions. So, of course. So when you were pregnant and you said you had to have a C-section, correct?
Yes.
So what was going on with that? Why did you have to have a C-section?
My body just did not, well, for one thing, I had almost 10-pound babies. I had 2 C-sections 5 years apart.
Wow.
And my body just did not, it could not birth the natural way. I didn't dilate, and I had a lot of, I had the preeclampsia. So, a lot of that going on. But I enjoyed my pregnancies.
Okay.
Did not enjoy those C-sections. And I think I just kind of shut down after those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you said they were 5 years apart, so you've had 2 of them?
Yes.
Dang.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow.
So how was the recovery from that?
The recovery was a lot longer than the 8 weeks they give you. I believe it took me at least a year with the first one. I remember still having those pains, and I had given up all activities, just the pain from the surgery. I stopped doing anything. And I remember I lived on the 3rd floor of a brownstone in Alexandria, Virginia.
Ooh.
And those steps, no elevators then, those steps would kill me. And I think that's the only exercise I got the entire time.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, the C-sections were definitely, that was the beginning. That was
Yeah.
when I just kind of shut down all health concerns.
Okay. And what surgery did you have?
I had the sleeve.
The sleeve. Okay.
I was going to ask, did you have any like postpartum or anything?
I did with my second child. My
Okay.
first one I did not. With my second one I had postpartum, and that was in 2001, and it was ignored. You know, they wanted to come in and give me some type of medication. I don't even remember what it was called, and I refused the medication, and that was the end of it. No one talked to me about therapy or, you know, what I could do to work through this. And I went into a really deep depression. I had this fear of, I have a second child. Can I love 2 children the same? What, you know, am I going to love my oldest child less now? Is my second child going to feel as loved? There was a lot going on that
Was
just
there,
was
like,
swept under the rug.
would you use food to help with that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Were you using food to help with like coping?
Oh, absolutely. Food,
Yeah.
yes. Food was definitely my comfort for everything. And it became the nighttime ritual. Everyone else would go to bed. I'd put the baby to bed, and then I would eat. And it was weird eating. I was always a very healthy eater. And it went to sitting on the sofa with a jar of peanut butter and a spoon, midnight.
I've done that.
Or,
I've done that.
yes.
I've seen my kid do that.
Yep.
I'm like,
Your husband.
stop.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Or my favorite treat, and I'm a little embarrassed to even say this out loud, but it, you know, it's life. It's the bariatric life. I would take an entire little bag of the M&Ms and dump them in the peanut butter and eat them out.
Oh,
of
that
the
actually
peanut butter with the
sounds
That sounds really
delicious.
good. Yeah. It's good. I used to crush up cookies into my ice cream.
Yep.
Yes. Or a
And
big
eat that.
scoop of peanut butter and ice cream too.
Mhm.
Chocolate ice cream and peanut butter.
Yep.
Oh, you're a peanut butter girl.
I am.
Like through and through.
Yeah.
Do you
and I have a
still
child
like
with a
peanut
tree
butter?
nut allergy.
You have a tree nut allergy?
No, my son does. He was born
Oh.
with it, and I told him, I said, I think it's my fault.
You probably ate too much peanut butter. Do you still like peanut butter though?
Yes, I love
Okay.
peanut butter.
So you didn't lose it.
Nice. And so you had VSG. What was the date?
It was March 23rd, 2022.
Okay.
So you've 2 years.
Yes.
How
2.5 years.
exciting.
Yeah. So how long after you had your stroke did you have surgery?
I had my stroke June 29th, 2020.
Okay.
And I had surgery because it took me a good year and a half to fully recover from the stroke. I had to learn to walk again.
Wow.
And my using utensils and speaking clearly. I still have a lot of little twitches and twerks, you know,
Yep.
left from it. And it left me with some PTSD. You know, every time I get a headache, I think I'm having a stroke, or
Oh.
every time something twitches, you know, I start
scared.
doing the signs to see if I'm having a stroke or not.
Yeah. That would be scary.
Well, most people don't know, but me and you watched my dad have a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the wildest thing to see someone go through.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so happy that you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you recovered just fine, because
Yes.
it doesn't do that to everybody. My dad recovered, but he still had the speech part was a problem. Mm-hmm. So like he would get really angry if like he wanted to say like orange, but it kept coming out a different word. Mm-hmm. He was like, God damn it. I was like, it's okay, Dad, it's fine. And he would get real mad sometimes. Yeah. But was the stroke due to like
it was a car accident?
It's a car accident.
That's right. Had a rear end collision. I was sitting at a red light, and a lady come off the interstate, and she was on her cell phone. She hit me from behind, and they didn't do a CAT scan. They did an X-ray, and they told me, "Oh, you have a concussion. Take these pills, and you'll feel better, in a couple of days." And I didn't. And 4 weeks later,
you got a stroke.
I had a vertebral arterial dissection. So it
just makes me mad.
And it actually affects a lot of things now, because you can't go on a roller coaster. That's one of the things that's on my bucket list is a roller coaster, and I have to do it without her.
No,
sad day.
That is a sad day because you can't do anything that's just going to jostle you around.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
So no jumping out of airplanes or anything for you.
No.
Okay. All right.
She'll stay 2 feet on the ground.
Yes.
I love that.
So let's jump over to Nina and let's see, tell us about your story.
Yeah.
Sure. So I had my surgery on August 31st, 2022. So 2 years ago, just a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And, my history, I have been overweight even as a child. So I was the one that when I was 13 was the first time I got on a scale. And I remember how much I weighed, because the friend of mine who got on the scale goes, "Oh my goodness." She goes, "You're big." And it just dropped me to the floor. Yeah. So I was 13. I was 128 pounds.
That's not
bad. But for a 13-year-old, it's not small either. Mm-hmm. So, and I remember that at first I was like, "Are you stepping on it with me?" I'm looking, and no. And I just remember from then on. So, I also came from a family that was extremely poor, and food was very rare, like good food. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of, prepared meals, like, what are those things called? They come in a box and you just throw them in the oven or back.
TV dinners.
TV dinners. Thank you. Yep. My brain just went.
Nope, you're fine.
Yep. And so we had a lot of those, TV dinners. And then if I came home from school, because I was the one that came home before my brother and sister did, and if I was hungry and I ate something, I would not be able to have dinner.
Oh, wow.
Because we were really, really poor.
Yeah.
And so my relationship with food was just awful.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old and I moved in with my grandparents. There's a lot to unpack with the why, but I was abused physically and sexually. Mm-hmm. So I moved in with my grandparents, moved 2 hours away into Richmond, Virginia. And my grandfather was the other direction. He was a 600-pound, lovable man, but every morning he would take me to school. He drove me to school. And he stopped at Burger King and got me a milkshake and a biscuit.
Oh, a milkshake and a biscuit.
That was
that's a first. I don't think that's
milkshake and a biscuit. I wasn't turning it down. I had been denied food for many years, and all of a sudden, I didn't know how to stop. It was just my grandparents. Everything that they did was with food. Right? You went to church, you had food. You had events, you had food. Everything was food, surrounded around food. So my relationship with food, probably around my 13 to 15 year old self, really just didn't understand how to eat properly.
Yeah, there's just no way to.
Yeah. No, not at all.
And two polar opposites.
Seriously.
Completely different. Mm-hmm. Completely different. So then my weight just continued to gain. Now, I did start working out. I got a YMCA pass, and I would go before work or before school and start working out because I did start putting on pounds, and I just didn't want to be that big.
Yeah.
And when I finished high school and then I went to college. I went just to a 2-year, local college. And again, started packing on some pounds, especially during exam time.
Yeah.
And then I met my first husband, and I got pregnant. It was not an easy pregnancy. Actually, I was told I couldn't have kids during I think we were married 2 years, and we had why haven't we gotten pregnant? So we went and checked. Okay. I had endometriosis and I had cysts all over my ovaries. I was just complete mess down there.
Poor thing.
So they put me in temporary menopause.
Oh.
At the age of 22.
Holy shit. How does that feel? That's got to be gnarly.
Horrible. Because you literally have hot flashes. You have everything that's menopause, but your body is so young still, it doesn't understand. I was really messed up.
Yeah.
So they said, we're going to put you in temporary menopause for 6 weeks. And then when you come out of that, you're going to have 6 weeks to get pregnant. If you're not pregnant in that 6 weeks, and they had done the laparoscopic surgery, they had removed the cysts, they had, lasered out the endometriosis. So everything was prime to do what needed to be done.
Okay.
I got pregnant on the 4th week. And it was not fun trying because at that point it's just, you're doing it to do it.
It's transactional.
Yeah.
It's transactional. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
we're
I'm
having chemistry.
I have to tell this because it's horrible. We would go into the parks, wherever we ran into each other, and you go in the woods and you did what you did.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, I love this, Nina.
Yeah, I know.
That's great.
I'm the crazy one. So anyway, pregnant on the 4th week.
Good job.
I had preeclampsia.
We love ProCare. You guys know this. And guess what? They have a brand new product out and it tastes like an orange Tic Tac.
That's right. I have got it in my hot little hands right now. It's their easy to swallow tablet in Citrus Grove. And both of us have fully switched over to it.
We had to because it's easy to swallow, doesn't stick, and it has 45 milligrams of iron. And we both need that.
Yes, we do. So go to procarenow.com to take care of all your bariatric body needs. And our code is the only one that gets you a full 15% off. So use code OSLP at checkout. Are you feeling a little sluggish? Little lack of protein? Little lack of caffeine? Well, we got the fix for that.
That's right. Dive Bar Nutrition has the best protein bars. They have caffeine, protein, and they taste delicious.
So head on over to divebarnutrition.com and use code OSLP at checkout.
High blood pressure. I had gained, and I went from, they made me lose 20 pounds before I could do all this stuff. So I had gone from 200 to 180. I remember that. And I ballooned to 295 in my pregnancy.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, after my pregnancy, I had a 10-pound, 1-ounce son as well, and I had a C-section as well. Because he had a 10 centimeter head. No, 32. He had 32 centimeter. He was 27 inches, 32 centimeter. He was not coming out naturally. By the way, he's married and they're trying to have kids. And I told her,
good luck with that.
Hoo-ha would not recover.
Yeah, the hoo-ha would not have recovered.
Because people that don't know, I'm just going to mention this real quick. When you have a baby, your vagina gets as big as 10 centimeters.
Yes.
So if that baby's head's what, 30?
32 centimeters.
Oh, that would.
Yeah, but it is in circumference.
I know.
Yes, it is.
I had one come out and
if you look at my face, I have what I call a pumpkin head too. And we actually nicknamed him Pumpkinhead for the first couple of years. Everybody said, why are you calling? I said, you do not understand what he.
You're not in the know.
Shut
it.
That is so crazy.
So I had a C-section because he was not coming out naturally without an enormous amount of pain. And with all the preeclampsia and everything else. And so they went ahead and took, he was very healthy, very healthy young man. And my relationship with food was kind of, because I guess I should have backed up a little bit. When I was diagnosed with the preeclampsia, they did not, they put me on bed rest because mine was so high. Any stress from work, any stress from anything else, I literally was put on bed rest for 6 months of my pregnancy.
Oh, shit.
So that's why part of that ballooning up was that I went up to 295 because I wasn't even allowed to walk outside. I had to be in a wheelchair. They didn't want me exerting any energy.
Wow.
Yeah. So had the baby, had my son. And then after he was born, things were good for a couple of years. I really worked hard on trying to get my weight under control. I did Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, the medicine one. I can't even remember the name of it now, where they used to give you pills to take. I've done the injections. I've done Nutrisystem. I have hired trainers that worked on with my nutrition. I've done it all, and I have failed it all. I have lost some, but ultimately gained it back.
Yeah.
So I hit 50 this year. So at 48, actually it was 47 when I made my decision. I had a divorce in between all of this, by the way. So 10 years after my son was born, I went through a divorce. And it was a really nasty one. It was, I understand when I hear some of your podcasts. I feel for you because I know where you are. And it was ugly. And he actually cheated with my neighbor, and I found out about it. And to someone who has already been through all this negative stuff in their life, it just made me feel unwanted, unloved, that nobody's ever going to love me, da, 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 da. And I literally ate my feelings.
Yeah.
Fast forward, my husband, who's amazing now, Billy, he and I actually were high school sweethearts before I moved in with my grandparents. Yes. And so I moved away, which is the only reason we broke up. And he happened to run into my sister. I do have 2 siblings, but they stayed with my parents.
Okay.
And he ran into them and my sister, and she gave him my number, and that's all she wrote.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so exciting.
We're actually celebrating our 4-year wedding anniversary this October. So,
aw, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
So, my stepson, my bonus son, was actually in the midst of going through the process. He was going for the full bypass.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
He was 560 pounds, I think, when COVID started, but he was 600 pounds when we actually all contracted COVID in the house, but he got COVID pneumonia. And he passed away from COVID pneumonia.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And due to his weight, they were unable to flip him over in the hospital that he was at, and they couldn't transport him because of how bad he was. He was in a coma. He was literally covered in ice. But he started the process and had actually gotten me and my husband to start eating healthier. And we literally were following the program, just not having the surgery. And then of course, COVID happened and everything shut down. All the surgeries shut down, everything. Then we contracted it. We got it on we realized we were all sick on a Thursday. The following Friday, he passed away. So it happened very quickly. And once we got through all the trauma of what occurred, I looked at my husband. I said, I can't leave this world. I'm not ready. I'm finally happy in my life. In my 50 years, I'm finally happy. I can't leave this world. I'm not ready. I'm finally smiling. I finally have something to live for. I have 2 beautiful granddaughters that were his daughters. And so they're amazing young ladies. And so I told my husband, I said, I'm going to start the process. I said, I have fought my whole life. I've been in this depression literally since I was 13 around my weight, around my self-confidence. But believe it or not, in my work, I was an outgoing person. Nobody knew that I had all these issues going on because when they came to work, I was gung-ho. I got it done. I talked in front of 400 people, at a convention one time, all this stuff. I have no problem with that. But when it came to my self-confidence about my body, about my worth, I didn't have any of that. So, let's see, my son got married in July of 2022 because it was the year after they had already started. So it was the year after my stepson passed away. And that photo and the wedding, first off, finding a mother's dress in the color that my soon-to-be daughter-in-law at that time wanted it to be was almost impossible. because I was 344 pounds. I was in a size 4X. I wore it all in my breast, my belly, and my butt.
Mm.
Yeah. So that kind of, even though I was already on the path, it was the breaking point. And it was like, all right, that's it. I had only lost 17 pounds before I had my surgery, but I had the sleeve surgery as well. Same doctor, Dr. Helmy with Mary Washington in Virginia.
Right.
And that's how we met, by the way. But
I want to hear the story of how you guys met.
Yeah, it's a funny one. But you know, so I had my surgery. I you know, the first week, just like most people, you know, at least percentage uncomfortable. My husband stayed home for the first week, you know, literally catering to my every whim. I need that bell
good
back,
Billy.
I need that bell back. I want it. Ding, ding, ding. But you know, I haven't looked back. It was the best decision of my life, and I feel not only have I gotten my self-confidence back, I feel like it has changed me for the better. And my new manager, I have a new manager at work, and he said something the other day because we're going camping this weekend, and I was talking about going jeeping and doing all this stuff. And I said, yeah, and I want to skydive, and I want to do all this stuff. And he goes, excuse me, because I need you to stay here working and not get hurt. And I said, well, I've lived most of my life as an overweight woman. I don't know what it's like to live, and I'm ready to live.
Oh, I love that.
So really he understands that now, and he's like, all right, well, just sign the waiver.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So how much weight have you lost?
I have lost 158 pounds as of this morning.
Wow.
So
and
very
Pam,
excited. I am 8 pounds from, I'm 6 pounds from goal.
Ooh.
And then I have my paniculectomy already scheduled for November the 12th.
Damn, girl.
Oh, damn, she's on it.
And, you know, I decided not to do the tummy tuck. I'm 50 years old. I almost said 55. You're 55. I'm 50.
Hey, good. Throw me under the bus.
We're like the same person. It's crazy. But, you know, I was like, I'm 50 years old. I don't need the tummy tuck. I don't care if I wear a bikini. It's not a thing. And I don't care if I have a scar. You know, I just want to feel good in my own skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have that scheduled. I'm very excited. I just talked to my doctor the other day, and actually the same surgeon that did our bariatric surgery is the one doing my paniculectomy.
Wow, very
cool. Which is great
very
because
cool.
It's covered by insurance.
Yes, even better.
And it's like someone you can trust.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I do trust him. He's amazing.
Good. Pam, how much weight did you lose?
I've lost 174 pounds.
Jesus.
Damn, girl.
You guys are powerhouses.
Seriously. Over 300 pounds between the two of you.
Uh-huh.
Well, and that's what we say. We, between us, we are an overweight person.
That is
what
true.
we have lost
Yep.
is equal to an overweight person.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
so
insane.
we love that.
So can you guys tell us how you guys met?
Do you want to start?
I really want to hear the story.
So I started doing 5Ks. I started out just walking with a group of bariatric patients from the same hospital that we had our surgery.
Okay.
And we would meet, was it once a month? No, it was every Saturday.
It was
we would
every
meet
Saturday.
every Saturday, and we would walk, usually just a mile, 2 miles. And then we decided we're going to do a 5K.
And we started doing those virtual 5Ks and
Yes.
get our little medals and everything.
Okay.
So I did my first 5K, and then Thanksgiving morning of 2022, I did my first 10K.
Our turkey trot.
Nice.
And this girl in all purple.
Well, I had a turkey sweatshirt on, remember?
Yeah,
but it was, everything else was purple.
Yes. Came up to me,
Yes.
she said,
My kind of girl.
"Will you walk with me?"
We were from the same group.
Yep.
I had seen her before, and she had this gorgeous smile. And I know people that smile big usually are very approachable. And I was just kind of like, do you mind walking? Would you like a partner to walk with? And we really just connect on that 10-mile or 10K walk.
Yes.
We realized we had come literally from kind of the same background, you know, different ways. But
Yes.
ultimately, we came from we're the same kind of person. We had the same goals. And what was that, a 2-hour walk for us, I think, for the 10K?
A little over 2 hours.
And
wow.
we literally left best friends.
Nice. Nice.
It was like, hey, can I have your number?
Yes.
I'm like, I'm going to stalk you. Is that okay?
It's always so weird as an adult when you make a friend because you're like, can I get your number?
Sometimes I don't know what
Can
to
we have a
ask
play
for.
date? How does this work?
Yeah.
Do I get your Instagram? Do you
Right?
give me your
Well, we
cell
did
now
phone?
you just
Facebook.
bump
We did
phones.
Are we
Facebook.
Snapchat buddies? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and there's only
because
certain
there's
people.
levels.
There is levels
of where
Yeah.
I'm going to put you.
Mhm.
Exactly,
So-
because you guys are a little bit younger than we are, and we do work better with the 40 plus group is what they say. But just because we understand what people are going through at this age.
Yeah.
But we're all Facebook.
Oh,
That's
good.
our thing. That's our technology.
Yeah.
But our surgeon's office actually had a Facebook group
No.
and has a Facebook group for support, and they meet every Tuesday, like
Every
clockwork.
Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
And regardless of how far out you are from surgery or as long as you have signed up with them, you have access to the support group.
And then
Oh,
they
that's
have
nice.
the next steps group, which is 1 year plus out.
Okay.
And that is once a month on a Thursday.
Yeah, it's like
on the
once
Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursdays, and that's a smaller group of people, and it's an in-person. But Pam and I both realized as we had become really good friends, and we started talking about our journey and where we really wanted to end up. And I broke my back in September of 2022.
Jesus.
No, 2023. Sorry, 23.
Just a
All
year
the
ago.
years are just falling apart. But yeah, just a year ago, I broke my back. And
How does one break their back?
so
Yes, Nina, how does one break their back?
my husband's in the other room, and I'm sure he's going, is she going to tell him the truth?
Oh, Billy, we need to know.
Yeah.
Is she
Yes.
telling the truth?
So we love to go camping, and we have a fifth wheel camper. Well,
Okay.
our fifth wheel has a toy hauler. So it means you can drop down this big gate of a door
Yep.
and ride up your four-wheeler or ride up your golf cart, whatever it is you need to get in there.
Awesome.
Well, we had bought it used, and we noticed that the door was sinking a little bit. So my husband decided to reinforce it with steel.
Okay.
Right? Well, he and I had opened and closed it together multiple times. My mother-in-law wanted to grab her golf cart out of it, and I said, I got this. My husband's out of town. I can do it, right? She wasn't home. I just did it during my lunch hour because I work from home.
Okay.
And so I go out, open one side, open the other, and I'm holding the door. I take one step back, and it folded me like an accordion, and I heard my back snap. I heard the break.
Oh my God.
And I live in the country.
Wow.
I screamed as loud as I could. I was screaming because sometimes my neighbor is home during the day. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't, but he's still 3 acres away.
Jesus Christ.
Right. So if you don't want to live in the country, there's a good reason. But it's probably the only reason that I wouldn't live in the country. But anyway, I love the country. So I'm screaming. My dog, who I love, Xena, is like an amazing. She looks like a big lab, but she's actually a Cane Corso. They're Italian Mastiffs.
Oh,
She comes over and she sticks her head underneath and is licking me to death. And I'm like, okay, so apparently nobody's home. Nobody's going to be able to help me. And I just had to say, you've got to save yourself.
Yeah.
My husband is in California for work. I'm in Virginia. What am I going to do? My mother-in-law was out doing errands and I was stuck. So I just mustered up some strength and just started kind of army crawling my body over because I literally was folded from my head I was flat from my head to my feet.
Okay, so your head was on the ground?
Like accordion. I know I'm literally pulling my feet up in the air,
Okay.
but my head was touching my calf, the front of my front of my leg. my
Okay.
shin.
And not in a flexible way.
No.
Not in the yoga
I've
pose,
lost
right?
weight, but at that point, I'd only lost like 110 pounds. So I was
And
like,
where was your phone?
and my phone was in my back pocket, so I couldn't get to it very well. At least it was on me, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, I couldn't get to it very well. So I literally am trying to, knowing I've probably hurt my back because this was not the first time I had hurt my back. This was the first time I broke it. I had a bulging disc and a rupture many, many years ago. But so I'm sitting there just trying to get out from underneath it. I crawl out. I slowly stand up because I don't know if I can walk. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I stand up. I'm like, okay. And then I stand all the way up and I'm like, all right. I came back in and went back to work.
No, you didn't.
I did. For 3 days.
Nina.
I didn't do anything about it. And then I called my chiropractor. I'm like, I'm hurting. I did hurt myself. Can you adjust me? And so he adjusts me twice. And then he says, I think you've broken something. And so he sent me to an orthopedist. And there's my story.
And what part of your back did you break?
My L4.
Your L4?
Yeah. He said if it had been I think he said 2 vertebrae lower, I might not have walked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so please do not open
this thing ever again.
Doors
No, my husband is actually we're going camping this week, and it's the first time in probably a year that we've gone. But he's supposed to be putting a winch on it so it can be automated.
Yeah.
But, you know, God bless him. You know, we're from the South. God bless his heart. He hasn't had a chance to do that.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's okay,
Yeah,
just as long as you're not doing it by yourself.
I get triggered now when it opens and I'm near it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I didn't realize.
Missy, fucking trying to be Hulk over there. And the fact that you already had a herniated disc.
Yeah, I had done that eons ago when I was a black belt before I'd gotten.
Yeah. Now we're learning more stuff. You're a black belt.
Yes, I am. I'm a Triple Crown state champion for the state of Virginia.
Whoa! So you can definitely kick all of our asses.
Black belt, and we have a ballerina.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. We both use our feet, right?
Yeah.
I'm the prissy one.
But I went through some depression when that happened because I couldn't walk. I literally had just started exercising. And all of a sudden I was like, he's like, you can't exercise. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
He goes, you've got to go in a brace. And he goes, you know, you can't do anything. So Pam and I, of course, the turkey trot, we walked because that was the first thing I had done since my surgery. I mean, since my back breaking, because it was on Thanksgiving.
Wow.
That was the second one we did, the second turkey trot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was,
a year later.
So you guys were already besties.
Yes.
From when you broke your back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
At least you had some support.
When I hurt my back, I felt I was so scared of Regain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Regain monster was beckoning me at my door because I was starting to eat. I mean, depression eat. It was head hunger, not body hunger.
Yep.
And thankfully for her being in my life, she helped me stay on point. She really did. She encouraged me. She, you know, reminded me, you know, all what I've been through, that, you know, I can get through this too. And it's just a healing process. And without her pushing me in the right direction, I probably would have regained some of my way back during that process.
We took up boxing during that.
Yes, we took up boxing.
Look at you guys.
I got the approval from my doctor once.
All right.
So my bone actually ended up so when it broke, the bone was floating in my body.
Okay.
And he said, if it comes back, because sometimes it will absorb back, he goes, you'll be fine, no issues. You'll be off. I'm like, really? That sounds really odd. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, 8 weeks later, it's up against the spine. It's trying to get back into place.
Our bodies are so fucking
I am not a medical person. I have the x-rays to prove it.
It sounds like some superhero shit.
Seriously.
It's not. I've never heard of. I'm like, how does it know where to go in the right place?
Yeah.
He goes, it's just how it absorbs from the calcium. It has something to do with the calcium and how it adheres. And thank God for all the calcium stuff from ProCare. Let me tell you.
Shout out to ProCare.
I am telling you, I will, because I couldn't stand the calcium tablets that they made us eat in the beginning.
Those are horrible.
These, oh my gosh, we tell people they're like Skittles. I mean, it's like Starburst.
Yeah. Which ones are your favorite?
The mocktails.
Yeah,
those are
I liked
really
the calcium, the caramel at first. It was my favorite, but then it was all the time, so it just kind of got boring. So then I just started adding these in, and it's great because you have multiple flavors, and it just works out.
Yeah, that's why I like the Dinner Mint.
We haven't tried those yet.
Tried those.
Oh, they're good.
And
they're good palate cleanser.
Oh, it's a palate cleanser. Okay.
For me, anyways. Like, it's a good palate cleanser because I can have my carbo in the morning, I have my Dinner Mint in the afternoon, and then I have my chocolate at night.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it. I do say it's like having a candy in the middle of the day, so it is nice.
Yeah. Just don't eat too many.
No.
Yeah,
We've done that.
Sometimes I cheat and eat 2 of them because they're just so good.
Well,
I know.
I did a third once and hurt myself.
Do you guys have thyroid issues? Any of you guys? That's another one of mine, is a thyroid issue. Okay. I have to take my thyroid medicine first thing in the morning, and I have to wait an hour. Actually, I have to wait 4 hours before I can take calcium.
Right.
That's a long time to have to wait and still have to take 3 a day.
Yeah.
That's wild. So since you guys are Bari-Besties, what do you guys think? Why do you think it's so important to have a Bari-Bestie?
So we actually in our group have what we call the Bari Buddy program. Sorry.
You have to have that person that keeps you honest.
Yeah.
Hold you accountable.
Yeah. And not just that, I mean, we talked about it today. She's like, she just lost her mom recently and she's struggling with that. And she's like, I don't know if I can do this. I said, yes, you can. She goes, I look horrible. I said, no, you don't. She goes, you have to say that you're my best friend. I said, no, I don't. I said, I would tell you look like shit if you look like shit. Like, I have no problem with that. But having an accountability partner, regardless, gives you someone who is going through it as well. My husband cannot understand everything that I'm going through. If she wasn't my best friend and somebody else was, unless they had gone through this, how can they truly understand everything? First of all, I had to be in a place where I had to make a decision to have my body altered. So I had to be in that place, and you cannot get anybody else to that place. They have to get there themselves.
Yep.
We both talk about, I have a squirrel and he veers off here and there. So remind me, we got to talk about the husband's legs. But anyway, so, having an accountability partner, not only we try to always pair people up that are around the same date as close as possible and the same type of surgery.
And live in the area.
Well, that's
similar area.
That one's hard.
That's harder. We have some people. Well, we've had some people that said, if I give you my area, I'm like, if somebody else will give me theirs, I might be able to pair you up. I'm like, yeah. But the whole thing is that it's truly having that person that I can call up and say, hey, I'm struggling. Christmas after I broke my back. My mother-in-law makes the most phenomenal home-baked snickerdoodles. Oh, let me tell you. And I work from home. So I'm in my office and I'm smelling it just wafting through the floor. It's just constantly. And she sends a bag up with my husband, her son. And I sat there and I had 3. And I all of a sudden was like, oh my God. And they weren't huge, but they were still full of sugar, full of butter, full of everything.
I remember
full of goodness.
Yes. And I called her and I said, I think I have just ruined myself. Sleeve patients don't have as much of a dumping syndrome as other patients, as bypass and RNY and all that stuff. But we still have some issues.
We've experienced it. It's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same, but it still happens.
I get the foamies.
Yeah, she gets the foamies. I get the hiccups. But
I got the foamies.
I called her in a panic, a complete panic, because I was like, I have just undone everything that I have worked so hard for. And she's like, give yourself grace. She's like, it was a mistake. And then we both came up with this saying that we use now with our group and with anybody that goes, I've just ruined everything I've worked so hard for. I'm like, make the next bite a bariatric bite. If you mess up and you have a bite of something, it's okay. If you have 3 bites, if you have a slice of cake, if you have a biscuit or a roll from, Texas Roadhouse, it happens. Make the next bite a bariatric bite.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's how if it weren't for our relationship and us going through, I mean, we were pretty close. We were 5 months apart. I think you were March, I was August. So that was still close enough that she'd gone through some of it. I'm getting ready to go through what our stages were fairly close.
Yeah.
And actually we're in the same size clothing now. And we even have the same size shoes, so we just share closets.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Just open that right on up. That's nice. We got 10 new dresses now.
Yeah. I mean, we're like pretty much the same size right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty damn close.
I went from a 4X into, I just put on medium pants.
Ooh.
And we do what we call Goodwill hunting on Sundays.
Nice.
And we do the Goodwills, and we have like 10 of them in our area, and we will just shop them.
Wow.
And, we just love it. Because, I mean, why buy all brand new clothes when half of them have tags on them anyway? So we go up in there, and I'm grabbing 16s and 14s, and she's like, excuse me, those are baggy on you.
Yeah.
Just try a 12.
Try these 12s.
Yep.
I was like, no, that's not. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, that actually was my bottom size. I just wanted to get to a 12. I didn't have a number on pounds. I had a size.
Yep.
And I'm there. And it doesn't make any sense to me because I have all the skin still. So does that mean and I'm actually, I told her I'm actually at that point where I'm scared that I'm going to lose too much.
Oh.
Because I won't know how to stop. So now
You'll know.
Your body will tell you.
You'll know.
Well, your body does, but then sometimes you're hard-headed like me and you go, but that extra 10 pounds would give me a safety net, you know?
A safety net for what? Yeah, I think you have to think about it.
So we've
like
talked about that. That's actually something we've talked about. And, you know, you just have to learn to be happy with your body. And your body, like you said, will tell you. And when it says, I'm done losing weight, don't force it to lose anymore.
No, and you're about to have your surgery. So that's going to take off pounds. You'll probably be a 10 or an 8 when you're done. So
I have a very big head. I'm going to be a bobblehead when I'm done. I have this big jawline. I'm going to be like bobbling.
You're not bobbling. You're good.
Nope, you'll be fine.
You're supposed to. Guess what? You're supposed to have a neck. You're supposed to be able to see it and define it. It's okay.
Yep. So Pam, how do you corral this one?
Lord have mercy.
Because I'm still trying to figure it out with this one.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're right though. Nina and me are a lot alike. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. 100%.
Except for the squirreling.
No, you squirrel.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bossy.
She is.
Yeah, you are bossy.
I'm always the mom figure. I'm pretty bossy, and I'm a redhead. I'm stubborn to begin with, and she listens to me.
I don't know.
She listens to me better than she does her husband.
I do.
Oh, speaking of husbands, what's the husband thing that you want to
Yes,
tell
we
us?
want to know about the husbands. How's the sex? How's the thing?
Well, first,
Lord.
okay, there's many things to talk about the husbands.
They think they're 16 again.
Yes, they think they're 16, but they don't look it. We look like we're 16 again. So we love our husbands dearly, and this is where we realized we were being mean girls, and we didn't mean to be the mean girls.
Oh.
But I love my husband dearly, but with the loss of his son and all this stuff, he has gained 100. He's 100 pounds heavier than I am right now.
Okay.
And I've been more, you need to eat, you need to stick to what I've been a little critical. And I realized I was doing it, but of course, I was coming from a good place, but I wasn't giving it a good message. Yeah. I will give other people, I help them and I give them the positivity and all this stuff. And why wasn't I giving it to my husband? Mm-hmm. So we've just started, I've started to look at it a little differently. And he's appreciative of it, by the way.
I'm sure he is.
But also, well, yeah, there you go. But also, we are what we call menopausal. So the sex drive has dropped dramatically.
And I've done finished the menopause.
Yes, she's done.
Full-blown
done. I'm in it. And there is no sex drive at all. I could go months easy without wanting it. But then he gets all sad and depressed like a puppy dog.
Oh, yeah.
And then starts pouting because I say no. If I say the word no, it is almost like the worst thing.
Like the world ends.
Yep.
It is.
Yes.
I mean, he literally pouted. He walked off in a storm and went to the bedroom. And I keep hitting that thing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you gotta milk your man, sir.
Sex is better, though.
But the sex is better.
She didn't even catch it.
What did you say? Oh, sorry.
I said you need to milk your man.
Oh, I do. He doesn't
You do
like
now?
He likes to be.
I know.
Lord,
You like
every 3 to 4 days, ladies. Just
what is happening right now?
They become very happy and nice all the time.
Well, and that's the thing. We talked about it. And by the way, I'm not trying to revert, but therapy as part of this process.
Yes.
I thought, I don't need it. 6 months after I started, and it's been the best thing I ever did. I got rid of a lot of that old baggage that I came with.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I know I jumped. But my husband is appreciative because I'm working on the sexual stuff because maybe I might not be in the mood, but I still need to. It's a relationship. It requires work.
Yeah.
And you're going to laugh at this. This is going to probably end up on the thing. But, after you've had the surgery and you've lost a lot of weight and the skin is hanging and all of a sudden you're having sex and it's going,
Oh, it claps back. Yeah.
Claps for you.
It claps for you.
It's clapping you on.
Yep.
Getting the applause.
Yeah, it's cheering you on.
Yep. It cheers.
Yes.
I love it.
Because I'm actually sitting there going, oh, I'm embarrassed. He goes, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Nope.
So we have to remember
they
that
don't
men
give
are
two
not even
shits.
thinking about that.
Plus,
They're not.
We used to have sex with them when we were 350, 360 pounds.
Exactly.
And they didn't think nothing of it then.
No.
Nope.
No. And I actually have been cleaning up my Google Drive because I'm an Android user. And I was going through thousands of pictures.
So disappointed.
I know. Sorry. If it's an iCloud anything, it's not happening. And I'm in IT. There's a reason I don't want it.
Nope. You'd hate me.
To be able to see those photos too.
Yeah.
Oh, what a huge, I mean, I'm going, how did I have all that in my face? I mean, I'm still a 38 double D. Well, I'm a triple in the bra, but they said once I get rid of the side stuff up here, it'll probably be a double. I was a 50F and my boobs sat up here.
Wow.
And when I laid down, it would choke me, you know? So I
had neck cleavage.
I did. I actually had I keep putting my arm up there. I actually had a boss that got mad at me because I'd be in a conference call on a video or whatever, and I'd have a T-shirt that had a V-neck. It was not a low, but right here. And she goes, "You need to cover that cleavage." I said, "It goes to my neck."
Yeah.
I'm wearing a scarf.
Do I need to put on a turtleneck? Would that make you happy?
Seriously, like simmer down.
Yeah.
So,
Pam, what about your husband? What's going on with you guys?
Oh my goodness. I have to run from him a lot.
Oh, what is it about the grabbing?
I know. It's very touchy-feely, and there's innuendos with everything. Everything involves a sexual comment. 6 a.m. this morning, I'm in the kitchen making their coffee, and can you get the creamer out of the refrigerator? I'll give you some cream.
See?
Yes.
So funny.
Our husbands
never
are so
grow out of it.
identical.
Nope.
It's not even funny.
So do they get along?
They do.
Yeah. We actually just
We drag them along on everything.
We don't care if they got along or not, but they
don't have a choice.
We're thankful that they do.
Good.
They mostly have us as their reason to get along because otherwise they would just hate life because they'd be with us. But we went to the movie theater this weekend. Saw Beetlejuice.
Nice.
That was good. And we had popcorn, and that was an interesting because the place that we went to was actually a place where you'd scan it and it ordered it and it came to you.
Okay.
Oh,
So you didn't control the butter.
Yeah.
That was
The butter got
that. We're noticing things like that too. I know I just squirreled you. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
But, we take our husbands literally everywhere we go. We take them to Goodwill and everything, but they also have to deal with us when we don't like food that's been delivered because it's not quite it doesn't taste quite right to us anymore.
yeah.
So was the butter
heavy
just
butter,
too much?
It's too much.
Yeah.
We're very picky where we eat too.
Give me all the butter.
Do you guys find that Mexican joints are the best ones to go to because
Yes.
it's so easy to customize your food?
Yeah.
We were literally just talking about them for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
that's
like-
probably where we're headed after this because I haven't eaten.
Yeah. Mexican sounds really good, actually.
Seriously. Don't get us
But
all
I'll get, like,
hungry.
triple
We got lots
taco
of things
meal.
to do.
We
still.
do have lots of things to do still. So we cannot go eat,
No.
which
Sorry.
it's okay.
But before we let you guys go, can you guys give our audience like 1 or 2 tips about your journey that can help them? I guess from your journey.
Go ahead.
Pam, you go first.
Yeah.
Trust the journey. Trust the process. Do not give up on yourself. The main thing is the surgery is a tool. It will work if you work. You have to work at it. It's not you're going to have this surgery and you're going to drop 150, 200 pounds. That first 60, 70, 80 pounds I lost, but the other part, I worked my ass off. You have to want it bad enough.
I like it.
And we see it. I'm on a dozen groups, and you see people that automatically they're 3 weeks out and they're like, I had a cheeseburger with the bun, and I'm like, really?
How? I want to know.
Exactly. I'm like,
How
There's
the
no
fuck
way.
did you do that?
There's no way. I
There's
had
no
2
way.
bites of refried beans and was full.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Those
I'm
are
like,
medicine cups.
whether it was a bite or not, it's just the fact of having it. So sticking to your nutritional guideline that your surgeons provide you is very key, especially in those first 4 stages. The liquid diet, it's important. I mean, for one, we lose our hair because of the lack of protein in our bodies.
Yeah.
You know, and women are very, I don't want to say the word vain, but they're very worried about losing their hair.
Yeah.
We're attached to our hair.
Yeah. We are, because
And it is
I don't know
attached
about you,
to
but
us.
Pam and I looked at our pre-surgical video, our pictures, and we both have big, voluptuous
Huge
hair. And we always curled it and make it big because it covered our faces. We used it to hide behind.
Hide behind the
Yeah.
curls.
You know, I just chopped off all my hair, you know, in the last 6 months, and it used to be
Well,
down
it's
the middle of my
beautiful.
back.
No, I don't know what you call this.
It's called an in-between. But, you know,
In between.
you know, making sure you're sticking to the stages that your surgeon has provided you is key. Vitamins, that's another one.
Yes.
Big one. The vitamins, making sure you're getting your calcium, your multivitamin, your any magnesium or B12 that you might need. D3 is a good one. I mean, I know everybody's different, but D3 has definitely been big for me. I actually use that, but it's called MagD, I think.
Oh, MagD is the best.
Yes, and I use that every night.
Yeah. ProCare has MagD. Use OSLP for a discount. Thank you.
Yes. Slide that in there.
There you go. But, you know, and you got one more?
Oh my goodness. Movement.
Yes.
Keep moving, even if it's just, you know, I remember my first movement was walking to the mailbox and back. And now we're doing 5Ks, 10Ks, we're doing hiking
Hikes.
and biking. And that movement is important. Keep moving, because before surgery, I didn't move at all.
And I
So
think
keep
the other thing I would say before we close out is self-care.
Yes.
Because one thing, especially as you get older, your skin is not as supple. It does not slip, you know, shrink back as easily. So like I use castor oil like it's going out of style, and it's done an amazing job. You know, I'm trying to be as natural as possible, because I don't wear makeup. I wear eyeliner and sometimes mascara, and that's it. But you know, self-care is key to good skin after the surgery, because your skin is going to get very dry, and it's not just your face and your neck and your chest, your arms, you're everywhere. You need the lather.
Yeah, lotion up, ladies and gents.
And that water helps, but it's helping from the inside. You need some outside help sometimes.
And the most important step, get a buddy.
Get a buddy. Get a buddy.
Love it.
Go to one of our events. You find buddies that way. You can be in our Patreon group. People have found buddies that way.
Yeah.
There's so
Both
many.
the Bari-Besties are in our group.
Yeah, they're in our group for our Patreon. And like, once you find that key person, it really does make things easier. Or even if it's not just one person.
Yeah.
It could be like a couple people. Because, you know, me, Kellie, and Katie, like when we're all together, like we really bounce off a lot of awesome ideas together. And we wouldn't have done that before.
In our group. Which is done pretty well for a small group like ours.
160 buddies. And we hit 1,000.
Yes, we just hit 1,000 members.
Ah,
congratulations.
Nice.
We thought we would be 50 people, you know. We never expected to have 1,000 members.
We have members in other countries.
That's
good.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Your voices are heard and needed, and because we want to shine more light on the older folks, because you guys need surgery too. You guys need help too. And, you know, we're not that age. So we have to definitely bring on people and help as much as we can. So thank you so much for coming on and being open about your guys' story.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. And to the rest of you, we love you, and we will see you
next time. Bye.